Welcome, everybody. It's the 12:30 Wednesday class, and we're doing 70s songs. And today we're going to do Lady Marmalade, which is a disco tune. Go, David! Yes, I know you love your disco tunes. Me too. And this one is by Patti LaBelle. So it's in book 367, and it's on page 155 through 56, 57, 58, 59. It's 5 pages. Oh, here comes Barbie Head Flash. We'll let her in. So the easiest way, I think, is to just make a copy of each page and spread it out. And I've just got mine clipped to the boards, but if you want to get a long piece of cardboard and put it on that, that would work too. It's going to be a lot easier to follow the roadmap if you decide to play this live, because otherwise you're going to be turning pages. And if you have to turn 2 pages back for something, it's going to be a little bit hard. So that's what's going on there. All right, this is recorded by rhythm and blues group LaBelle in 1974. Lady Marmalade is famous for the French chorus. I didn't know French, and nobody knew what this meant, and somebody finally told me, Voulez-vous coucher avec moi means, I want to go to bed with you. Or do you want to go to bed with me? I think that's what it really means. Is any French people out there? Yeah. I think it means I want to, do you want to go to bed with me? I think that's what it means.
That's correct. That's what it means.
Okay.
That's correct.
Voulez-vous coucher avec moi? Ce soir. Here,
You want to go to bed with me? Yes. Okay, I got it. All right. In 2001, back up. It held the #1 spot on Billboard Hot 100 for 1 week. The song has had many cover versions, and in 2001, there's a version by Christine Aguilera, Maya, Pink, and Lil Kim the rapper, and it was recorded for the Moulin Rouge soundtrack, and that held the #1 spot for 5 weeks. Now, you want to talk about a little bit sexually suggestive? Watch that one. Wow. Wow. But the one that's fun to watch is LaBelle, Patti LaBelle, and her 2 sidekicks singing this. The costumes are incredibly 70s. The makeup is incredibly 70s. And it was the song here is written by Bob Crewe and Kenny Nolan, and it was actually inspired by Crewe's experiences in New Orleans and the sex workers in the area. So he's writing about a prostitute. Patti LaBelle, who sang the lead, she was completely oblivious. I find this to be hilarious. She was completely oblivious to the song's overall message. She didn't speak French and nobody told her. So if you watch the YouTube, and she's just up there dancing, Voulez-vous coucher avec moi? She has no clue what she's saying. I find that to be extremely funny. But yeah, that's the version I remember. And it was in all the dance clubs, and it was on the radio. So those of you who think you don't know it, as soon as I play it, you'll probably say, oh yeah, oh yeah. Now, if the only thing you do in this song is learn the roadmap, you will be 100% successful, because this is a little bit tricky. So I think what I'm going to do is play it first. Hopefully I'll get through it the right way, because I don't have my colors in yet. And you try to follow it as best you can. And then when we do this together, you can tell me, where I should be going. Hopefully I'll get it right the first time. All right, I do have an intro for you. And you're not going to see me pressing my presets, because I put them on the foot switch. So if you do number 3, custom number 3 down here, it'll come up in the window next preset, and I put it on my right kick switch, so that every time I kick to the right, I'm going to move to the next preset with my foot. That means that any of my fill-ins are going to be done on the touch bar itself. So here we go, Lady Marmalade, and I've actually got not enough room for my intro, so I'm going to put it on the chair next to me here and play it that way. All right, here we go. said, hey, hello, Joe, you want to give it a go? Uh-huh.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty fun, huh? Pretty fun. Did you have fun trying to figure out where we were?
Yeah, I did.
Ricky.
I was lost. I was so lost.
Yeah, well, it took me a while to figure out where we were going to too. So I have practiced this one or two times, and I still make mistakes. But
Yeah, I
that's,
bet you did.
it's fun. It's just a fun song to play. It's not all that hard, but you got to know where you're going, so you don't
Yeah,
go.
as long as we take it apart
Yes.
and
Yes,
then
and you
I'll,
notice
then
I
I'll
did
be
add some
I'll be
notes.
okay.
I added some extra notes, but what's fun about disco is that everything repeats because that's dance music. It's the same stuff over and over and over and over. So I did do little changes. I added more background. I changed the drummer. I changed the bass player. I added Orchestra Plus. I took out Orchestra Plus. So I played with those types of things. But I pretty much left it. I had two presets really. No, I'm sorry. I had three presets that I used because I started with the organ and then I went to, what did I do? Vintage 9, which is a flugel sax with a duet. So I'm using sounds that are already there. I'm not designing any sounds. And then I went to vintage or rhythm preset number 10, which is your brass with AOC. So those were my two main sounds. Saxes and flugels and brass, so mostly just horns on this. You could have played the whole thing with that Hammond organ sound, which was rhythm preset or vintage 0. Now what background am I on? I'm on rhythm and blues Motown. Motown with the alter style at 120 beats a minute. And there were several others that you probably could have used. You could have used Queen of Dancing. Now, for those of you that don't have some of your disco backgrounds or you have some of the smaller organs, guess what works? Gospel. It's amazing that you can play this on gospel shouting with the altar style or gospel hand clapping with the altar style, or use some of your gospel. Just go to your gospel full band if you're on an easy 10. It's going to work. It's going to work. 120 beats a minute. That was standard dance beat for the 70s. Every dance song had 120 beats a minute. Do you know why? Because when you were at the club and you were dancing, they didn't want you to get off the floor except to go buy some drinks from the bar. So they wanted everybody to just keep on dancing, keep on dancing, keep on dancing. So the same tempo for all the songs. And then they would just fade one out and fade the next one in, and it's the exact same tempo, probably the exact same beat because everything was disco, and then you just kept right on dancing. So that's what they did to keep the club moving. They did not stop in between songs. They just kept fading one in, fading one out. The only time they would change the meter is when they decided they needed a slow dance, and every now and then they'd throw in a slow dance, and then you get cuddly with your guy, and hopefully you were on the dance floor with the right guy at that time. Okay, so here we go. Roadmap time. Get your markers out, and I'm going to do this with you. All right, you're going to start with my introduction, which was actually pretty easy. Hey, sister, go, soul sister, go, sister, hey, sister, go, sister, soul sister. And then you're going to play all of page 1, which is 155. Page 2, which is 156. You're going to play line 1, line 2, and at the beginning of line 3, you see a first ending. Okay, you see where that goes? It's a long first ending. It goes all of the third line, all of the fourth line, and the fifth line, it does the first measure, and then it stops. And then you have 2 dots, a thin line, and a thick line. Those are your repeat dots. So you need your color, and we're going to make that blue. Where does it go back to?
Beginning.
No,
the
it doesn't
middle
go back to the beginning. You
of-
gotta watch it.
Third line. Third line.
Third line, page 1.
You got it. Third line, page 1, where those dots are. You can't
Right.
always assume that your ending is going to take you back to the beginning. Only if you don't have dots, but you have to find the dots that face forward. And that's where they are. They are on page 1, line 3.
Line
There's your
3.
dots. So blue
Right.
takes you back to blue. All right, now you can take another color. And you're going to play the last 2 lines of page 155, 156 top line, 156 second line. At the end of the second line, put a little 2, and you want to trace the 2 down here. If you need an arrow, go ahead and put an arrow. But usually if you just see the color, second time you go to here because it's the same color. And now you're going to keep playing. Right? And you play that instrumental part. All of page 157. At the top of page 158, there you have your first ending. It's for the last 2 measures of the top line and the first measure of line 2. So you need a different color. All right, mark your dots. Where are those dots sending you to?
Near the bottom of 157.
Correct. Second to the last line of 157. You always want to back up to just the next set of dots. These dots do not send you back to these dots. These dots send you back to the immediate one. So you just back up until you find the dots. And there they are. And if you make them a color, that way your eyes will know where to go.
Dawn, may I interrupt you?
You most certainly may, Cheryl.
After we do 2 and go into the second ending, where do we play to? You said page 157?
No, you play to page 158. You play all of page 157.
So you don't bother with these dots in the middle of the fourth?
No, because they're facing forward. So remember where they are, but if they're facing forward, you just plow right through them and keep playing.
Okay, and you
You
go
only-
to where?
You only back up to dots that are facing forward. So you keep playing. The color of cafe au lait made the savage beast inside roar until it cried, more, more, more. There's your first ending at the top of page 158. And that first ending goes for the rest of that line and one measure of the next line, 9 to 5. When you see 9 to 5, you've got 2 dots, a thin line. Make that a color and use the same color to go back to page 157, line 4, where those dots are facing forward.
That's another color.
No, the same color that you just used.
Green, blue. Okay.
The same color that you just used, because you want to make sure that if I colored this yellow right here, I want to make sure that this is yellow too, because that's what my eye is going to be looking for. I see yellow, I want to go back to yellow.
Okay, got it.
Okay? Then you're going to do living in his gray flannel life. But when he went off to sleep, old memories keep more, more. Now, you get a different color. Yeah, I'll use green again. At the end of that first ending, you want to put a little 2, and you want to do an arrow to the 2 right underneath it. Now, the second ending's very short, so this is where it gets confusing. First of all, does everybody have that? You're going to skip the first ending
What
and come
page
down
are
to
you
the
on?
second ending.
So
Go ahead.
page 158?
Are you right now?
I'm on page 158, yes.
Okay.
At the end of that first measure, right before the first ending, you're going to put a colorful 2 and then an arrow straight down to the second ending, which is just underneath.
I'm lost.
Okay, we are page 158.
Yeah.
All right, let me get this in front of you here.
Got that. Oh, okay. Ah.
Could you hold it up a little more, please?
Oh, put it back up again. Go on, please.
It's up. It's up.
No, it's not. People are talking.
Oh, okay. I'm going to hit mute all so that everybody has me in front and center here. Now you can unmute yourself if you have a question about that. The second time, you're going to go to the second, skip the first ending and go to the second ending. So I always put a colorful 2 at the end of the measure, and then an arrow if it's short, and then trace the 2 and the second ending. Okay, now you can unmute yourselves and tell me if you've got it or not.
Looks like bunny ears.
Looks like bunny ears?
Yeah, the arrow.
Oh. Oh, you're funny. Oh,
Dawn,
yes, Cheryl.
does that mean that the second ending is only one full note B?
Yes, that's where this gets tricky, because now you want to take a whole nother color, we'll take pink, and you have 2 thin lines. And when you have 2 thin lines, it tells you that's the end of a section, and you have to follow the directions. So I'm going to take another color, and I'm going to make those 2 thin lines pink, and the directions say DS al coda. Go back to the silly sign. So I'm going to make the silly sign this same color that I just made these 2 lines so that my eyes know where they're going to. So where am I going? Silly sign. Where is it?
First
Middle
page.
of the first page.
First page, the same place the other dots were.
Yeah, first
Yep.
page, third line.
Yeah. All right. So now I am looking for what I really need.
Dawn,
Yes.
wait a minute, I lost you there.
Okay.
I told you I'd lose
This is
you.
hard. This is a tough roadmap. We'll probably have to do
Yeah.
it several times.
Yeah,
That second ending
right.
is 1 measure long.
Mhm.
So then you have to make those 2 thin lines a color and follow the instructions. It says DS al coda, meaning go back to the silly sign. So I have to go from here, and I made it pink. So I want to make the silly sign pink so that my eyes know where to go. I'm looking for that same color. Pink goes back to pink. And I made the silly sign pink, which is on the very first page.
Right.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
got it.
that's why you want to make copies of all your pages on this song. Because otherwise you're going to go,
Crazy.
how many pages do I have to turn back here?
All right, I got you.
All right. Now, keep going. Now we're going to do getcha, ya, ya, da, da. Getcha, ya, ya here. Mocha chocolata, ya, ya. Creole Lady Marmalade. And then you have a 2 coda sign at the end of the first line on page 156. That's what you're looking for. Remember, you never go backwards to a coda. You only go forwards. So I'm going to make that a different color. Let's use, oh, blue is fine. If you got a 5th color, go ahead and use it.
Now, where do you put that color now?
That's going to be on the 2 coda.
to coda.
2 coda. And I'm going to make the coda the same color.
Yep.
Because remember, codas only send you forwards. I want to make the coda the same color. And that's on page 158.
Mhm.
Right where we left off, right?
Right.
Now, we're not done yet by a long shot. This is the roadmap from hell, most definitely. All
It's
right.
certainly a learning something.
Yeah, if this is all you learned today is the roadmap, you are 100% successful, most
Oh.
definitely. Okay, now play the rest of that second line, and in line 3, there's your first ending.
Mm.
And it continues to the bottom of line 4, and then you have your dots in the middle. See them?
Yeah.
Okay, make those a different color.
Oh, boy.
Color number 6 if you have it. All right, now where do those dots go back to?
Coda.
Coda, correct, because there's your dots.
Right.
So you want to make those dots that same color. Okay, so now here's the tricky part. Oh, let's use pink.
So tricky.
We did pink. Yeah.
Now you're going to do Voulez-vous coucher avec moi ce soir? And at the end of that 3rd line, second measure, where the first ending starts, you're going to put a 2, and you're going to put an arrow down to the second ending and make that 2 the same color. Okay?
Done.
Did you not get that? It's hard. This is the hard part.
It's me again.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if I am confused between first and second ending.
Ah, okay. All right, here we go.
I mean, do we have first and second the first time, then we have first and second the second time?
No, you play the first ending the first time. Okay? So you're going to play coda. The first
Yeah.
time you play the first ending, this
Yes.
and this. The dots send you back to the immediate dots, which are here. Now I'm going to do this, and then I'm going to do this line here, okay, the first measure. I'm going to skip the first ending, so the second time I'm going to end this measure and then jump down to the second ending,
Right.
because I'm skipping the whole first ending the second time. Got it?
Yep.
Make sense?
Yep.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, this is tough. And we're not done yet. Not done yet. All right. So now the second ending takes you to the next page, which is the last page. Thank goodness. Then you have, at the end of line 2, you have some dots. Color. Make them a color. Where are they going back to?
Top of the page.
Top of the page, correct. That's only a 4 measure repeat. But here's the tricky part. Play it 4
Yeah.
times.
And you did.
I did.
Oh,
Play
you
it 4
did.
times.
You
And
did.
then you're supposed to finish the song. Well, what I did is I faded the song. I started playing line
Oh.
3, and then I just put the fade in on, and then so that you fade out by the time you get to the end. So I never ever play that last instrumental part. I never get to that far.
Oh. So where did you start to fade then? On line
Yeah, probably when I got to Mocha Chocolata. Or you could even do it on the 2 measures before that, Getcha, ya, ya.
Oh, okay.
She had no clue what she was singing.
It is pretty funny.
I think that's hysterical. And when you watch her, she's just having a good time dancing. She has no clue what she's saying.
Patty LaBelle.
Patti LaBelle, yep.
Oh, I love her. She's a
Oh
great
yeah,
lady.
she's a great singer. And just turn on YouTube and get the costumes, just for the costumes alone. The
So if you watch
1970s.
YouTube, you go on YouTube for Lady Marmalade.
Yep.
Okay.
And you're going to
And
get the two versions. You're going to get the 2001 version with Maya Pink, Lil Kim, and the other gal, Christina
So-
Aguilera. Their
Oh.
costumes are pretty awesome too, but it's very sexual. I'm going to warn you. It's
How
it's
about-
out there.
What about Patty LaBelle's? Can you get hers on there?
Yeah, you get Patti LaBelle's on there too. Yeah, so you can watch them both if you want. You can get the differences, and
Yeah.
I love Patti LaBelle's version. I
I
think
do
that was just the most awesome.
Yeah, she's a cool lady.
Okay, now you heard me do some extra notes, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, because that bass player, and like I'm telling you, disco music repeats, 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 so that if they wanted to loop it, they could actually make it a 18,000 minute version if they wanted to. So I'm changing a few notes. Let's go to page 156.
Okay.
Top line, Creole Lady Marmalade, right there, those two measures. It's written like this. And I don't like that. The first two notes, I think you should cross out the E and make it a D dinosaur right underneath it, and cross out the very first D and make it a C right underneath it. So D, C, D, E. And then after the C for Marma, you're going to put another A. D, C, D, E, D, C, A, A.
Oh, in that measure?
You're just going to put one A in that measure and then go to the A that's already written in the next measure.
So you want another A in that measure and leave the A that's in the third measure.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. I'll put this up to the screen too. Now,
Yeah.
I'm going to write some notes, and the notes are the exact same notes as the bottom of page 156 where it says instrumental. That measure you're going to copy to the second to the last measure in the top line.
Right. Oh,
A, G, E, D. The A, G, E, D, see where I am?
yeah,
You're
where
gonna
it
copy
says,
that, copy those notes, and the A, you can use the A that's already written there.
are you mean where the rest is?
No, I mean the last two measures.
Yeah, last two measures, top line. Oh, wait a minute. You mean,
The last measure on the bottom of the page does bum, 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 right?
right?
You're
Okay,
gonna
where's
take
it
that and you're gonna copy it right
Right.
here,
Right,
second to
okay.
the last measure. You can use that
Okay.
A as your starting. A, G, E, D.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, now the top of the next page has the other measure, C, D, C, E. And you're going to copy that right here. C, D, C, E.
wait, oh, I see. But, oh,
Okay. That's,
okay.
yeah.
So
So
what are those-
it's already here for you. It's just in a
Yeah.
different spot.
So what are those notes? C, D, what?
C,
Okay.
D, C, E. So A, G, E, D, C, D, C, E. You're just copying the notes that are already there. The ones that are at the bottom of this page in the last measure, and the
Yep.
top of the next page, the first measure. Okay?
Okay.
Now, when you play them, you're actually going to do the D minor chord at the top of page 156, play the D minor chord, and right next to it put NC, no chord.
Where? In that measure?
The top of page 156,
Yeah.
you're going to
There's
take that D minor chord, you're going to play it, and then
Right.
you're going to put an NC right next to it, no chord,
Okay.
and cross out the A minor chord. You're going to do that
So-
all on a no chord.
Okay. So, oh, I see.
Yep.
The rest
So you
of that.
play
whole-
the D minor, then you do a
Right.
no chord, and you're going to play all these notes on
So
a no
you-
chord.
do you only hold the D minor for an eighth note?
Yep,
Okay.
yep,
And then a no chord for the rest of the whole line.
yep. So you do
Can you
D
just
minor,
play
no
that?
chord.
Can
You
you
do
just
a
play
D
that,
minor, no
Kristen?
chord. D minor, no chord right off the bat.
Okay.
Can you just play those two measures for us,
Sure.
or three measures?
Yep. All right. Let's see, where should I start? Okay, now that A, and I'm gonna hold it with this hand, and all those notes that you just put in, you're gonna play with your left hand on the top keyboard, an octave down. Okay?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So you're going to do D minor, no chord, and then these notes. And you're going to hold that, and then you're going to play these notes.
Oh.
Pretty cool, huh? Because that's
Yeah.
actually, and if you want to play it all the way down here, you can, because it's a bass line. It's actually a bass line. I think it's easier just to put my hand right up here and play it here.
Yeah. Sounds better too.
Oops. Now you got to watch that too, yeah. Got to watch your fill-ins on Motown because you don't want to hold it too long. If you're touching your fill-ins, if you're doing your fill-ins, you want to get the drum beat, but you want to touch it and get right off of it. Because the minute you go into the second measure, you're going to go into the, you don't want that part. So you don't want that. You just want that, taka, 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 taka. That's all you want. So you got to watch your fill-ins on that too. Just touch it and release it.
So that third measure you're playing with the right hand, the fourth measure you're playing with your left hand? Is that it?
Nope, nope. The third measure, you're going to hold that A up here.
Oh. Okay.
And at the same time, you're going to play that A here with this thumb, and you're going to go down to these other notes.
Oh.
Then the next line, you go back to your chord.
So we should put a D right at the end of that, the beginning of the first measure of the second line?
No, no, you want to put an A minor.
Okay,
Yeah, first measure of the second line, put an A minor chord, because that's the chord you're actually still on, but we crossed ours out. So good call.
Okay.
Thanks for reminding me of that. Second line on that page, make sure you put that A minor chord back in.
thank you.
Okay, now that's the hardest part of the song, and you're going to do it several times. Several times, because you have a repeat, so you got to do it. You're actually going to do it 3 different times. Well, no, because it's written down here too. You got to do it down here too. And you're going to do it, well, let's just do this page by page here. All right. Bottom of page 156, second ending. You're going to play the D chord, then you're going to put a no chord, and you're going to cross out that A minor chord because there's your notes. So it's D, cross out this and make it a no chord, put a no chord right there. And you're going to do the same thing. You're going to play these on the upper keyboard in the same spot. Da, 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 dum. And then when you get to the next page, dum, da, dum, bum.
So we're gonna lower that, we're gonna play it in the upper keyboard, but down an octave like we
Down
did
an
at the
octave.
top of the page. Should we hold the A too again?
Nope, that one you don't have to hold the A if you don't want.
Okay,
You can, but you don't have to.
okay.
Either way, whatever's easiest for you. However you're going to learn this, just if it makes sense for you to do it the same way both times, absolutely, go ahead and hold that A. because when you get to the top of the third page, you're changing preset. You are going to a preset with the horns because those horns kind of smooth out the bump, 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 bump. Those horns kind of smooth it out. Okay, now on the second line of page 157, second measure, that B that's in there, butterfly, the note, I crossed it out. I didn't like it. If you want to put that in there, go ahead. But I went down to the C sharp to the A and just held the A. I thought the B was just, nah, don't need it.
Where is
Say
it?
that again, please?
That's
Where to be?
line, it's page 157, line 2, second measure, beat 4. There's a B note. I just
Oh.
passed it out and got rid of it because I didn't like it.
You
All
just
right.
hold A then?
Just hold the A, yep. Okay, now there is a mistake here. Line 3. Hey, hey, hey. You've got an E, you've got a G sharp, and then you have a G, and that's supposed to be a G sharp too.
Oh.
So make sure you put a sharp sign in front of that G for hey, the last hey. Hey, hey, hey. That does not go back to a regular G. That was a misprint. And that's it for that page. Let's go to page 158, the bottom of the, oh, nope, third line. See the D minor chord in line 3?
Yep.
Cross it out and make it a plain old D. Not a D minor, but a D major, just a regular D chord. The second ending, which is the last measure of that page. You're going to do the D minor chord, then you're going to put an NC immediately after it. The notes, you're going to cross out the E for Creole and make it a D just underneath it. And you're going to cross out the next D for Ol and make it a C just underneath it. Because again, that makes it the same. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The top of the last page, cross out the A minor. You're still on a no chord. And write in those notes again. You're going to play the E. You can actually play an ACE with your right hand if you want. But your left hand is going to do the same thing it did at the top of page 156. It's those same notes, A, G, E, D, C, D, C, E. So you're copying the same notes. It's all the same. And that's basically it. Now I changed some of the harmonies. I went to I think I put in a country harmony because I wanted it to go up on top. I had a duet harmony on for a while. Oh, I forgot to change to country harmony. Where did I forget to do that? Number 5. What did I have? 6. Oh, no, I had just regular AOC. That's what I did. Yeah. Number 9. What did I do on number? Oh, I was on 4-part harmony. Okay.
I'm sorry, Dawn, on page 159 on the top.
Mm-hmm.
First measure there, you said that was an ECA for that, and then what were we covering?
That's for your right hand, and then your left hand is going to do A, G, E, D, C, D, C, E. The same letters that we wrote in at the top of page 156.
The A, G, E, D, C, D, C, E?
Correct. For those two measures.
Oh, gosh, that's the left hand.
That's the left hand on the upper keyboard. That's why you got to have a no chord there. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so the AM, you play the AM?
Nope.
Or-
The AM, you cross it out because you do a no chord at the bottom of the page. You play the D minor, you do a no chord, and you're still on the no chord at the top of the page. You cross that A minor out and throw it away.
Okay. Now we got, oh boy.
When did you mention something about ACE?
Yeah, if you want to play ACE with the right hand, you can play that whole chord because it's really the last time that they're singing Creole Lady Marmalade. And so it's with big horns. You can just play the E and be fine and then run your left hand down. Or you can play the ACE if you want, and it just makes it real big and fat.
Over those two measures.
For those two measures, yep.
Okay.
And, you know, you use your judgment and how it sounds to you, and one time try it, and one time don't try it. Yep. All right, now you'd also need to know where the changes are. Now remember, write these in pencil because you might change them. You might change them. Like I said, I have some that only go for two measures, and you might say, that's stupid, I don't want those two measures, and so you erase that one and just keep going with your presets. So yes, you can get my presets, and it's basically turn off Genie and Orc Plus, turn on Orc Plus, turn on Genie, turn off Orc Plus, turn off your harmony. You know, so it has mostly a lot to do with your Orc Plus and Genie, and you're going to just add and take stuff away from the background. Why? Just to keep it a little fresh. Now, do you have to do that? No, you can pick Motown, put it on alter, and go. Use presets 9 and 10, 0 for the intro, 9 for the body of it until you get to the instrumental part on page 157. That's where the horns come in. And then play the horns the rest of the way through. So yeah, that's all you really need. It's pretty cool though, huh? All right, so now I'm going to tell you where to make the changes.
Excuse me, Dawn?
Yeah.
When you say Genie, you mean, for my organ, is that basic?
Yes, that's basic,
Okay,
yes.
Great,
Yeah.
got it, thanks.
Those of you on the Inspire, the Rialto, the Marquis, the Grand Marquis, and the Arias, those that, when I say Genie, it's basic. And I sometimes forget that when I'm doing, I do these awfully fast sometimes, because like I said, I have a lot of songs to do. So yeah, I'm going to make some mistakes sometime. But all this is to get you to go, where is that? How much of a difference does it actually make? And you may say, I don't like what she did. I'm going to throw it away and just play it the way it is. And that's fine too. The number one thing to learn in this song is the roadmap. And guess what? If you mess up the roadmap, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't. You just play what you want to play. Just have fun with it. All right, so your A1 and your A2 are actually part of the introduction page. A3 starts the top of your page, page 155. You start with A3. And play the whole page on that. Go to page 156. At the end of the first line, put A4. Line 4, third measure, between the second and third measure, right by that D minor chord, put an A5. Now this is the one that you can absolutely skip. For the black satin sheets, I swear he started to freak. What I did is I pulled out some of the sound. I took off the duet and I took out some of the stuff to make it a little bit like one person singing. And then at the end of the first ending, it's only 2 measures long, before you go back to your dots, put A6. Like I said, A5 you can pretty much skip if you want. All right, let's go do second ending. Second ending at the top of page 157. Right before you get to that F chord, you want to switch to A7 because that's where those horns come in. Line 3. At the end of the first measure, right before you play the E chord, go to A8. 8. Because you're going to add some more stuff going on there, some more harmonies. All right, let's keep going, keep going, keep going. The last page of the song. Page 159. After the second measure, where those dots are facing forward, A9. And all I did is pull out some background, changed my drummer just to make it a little bit different. And I'm going to play first 2 times on A9, and then the second 2 times I'm going to play it on A10 and finish the song. And again, you might hate most of these. You might say, I'm doing 1, 2, 3, and 4, and that's it. And that's fine. All right, do I need to play the song again so you can follow the roadmap?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, all right. So watch your colors. I'll try and tell you where I am, but watch your colors, because that's the most
I'm sorry,
important
where
part.
did you put,
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, where did you put A6?
A6 is at page 156 at the end of the first ending before you go back to the dots.
Okay.
Dawn,
Yeah,
why did,
so
Thank
once you pull up my things, you might go, okay, now I know what she did. I don't hear that big of a difference because I have a lot of presets and the actual difference is not that much. So if you really, the only thing you learn is where you're going and you pick a couple sounds and go with it, you're going to be good. Okay, so you start out, a couple of measures. I don't even have a Genie or an Orc Plus on. And now I'm just going to do a nice little glissando up to this chord.
Dawn?
Go to the next preset. More background. She said, hey, hello, Joe. You want to give it a go? Uh-huh. First ending. Page 1. Top of 158. First ending. Second ending. Back to the silly side. Over here now. Last page. Second time. Go to A10. Fourth time. Keep going. Getcha, getcha. Start fading. Okay. Did you follow?
Yes.
Yeah. See, now that your colors are in, it makes it a lot easier to know where you're going.
I think what I'm gonna do is, for me, I think I'm just gonna break the song down into pieces
There you go.
and work from there.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's a lot of repetition, and you really
Yeah.
just need to know where it's
Yeah.
going. And if you know the lyrics, that also helps. And yeah, this is a song that, yeah, we had in the dance clubs, and so I pretty much can just sing the song, but that's, if you know the lyrics, it will help you. If you
Yeah,
need
yeah, I
to
do.
watch YouTube, it'll help. Cool, very cool. This is so much fun. I love my Wednesdays. This morning I got to do Queen, We Are the Champions, and now I get to do disco. I love my Wednesdays. Yeah, good stuff. Okay, I'm not doing fingering because it's pretty much just all 1 and 3. You can figure out your fingers. It's not that hard. Really not that hard. Okay, so the next song will be, we're going to just totally slow it down. We're going to do Killing Me Softly with his song, and that's Roberta Flack, and that'll be a whole different ball of wax as far as what we do with backgrounds and stuff. So that should be fun too. Okay, you guys are the awesomest. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
Yes.
Thank you for all your hard work on this one. Wow.
This one was fun. Yeah, this is fun stuff. I love doing these songs. This is what I live for. And if I would have had more time, I would have done more stuff to it. But sometimes less is more. You got to, admit that too. Find some sounds, put it on
Yes.
Motown, put it on Ultra Style, and go.
Thank you.
Thank
Dawn.
you.
You guys are
Thank you.
great. Thank you.
Thank you, Dawn.
Bye.